Hi everyone, we're the Book Cougars, two middle-aged women on the hunt for a good read. I'm Emily.
And I'm Chris.
And we might be suffering from this.
Yes.
Yes, and this was a gift from my bookish friend who, you got this, was it at Oblong?
Oblong Books.
Oblong Books,
They had great sidelines there. Oblong in New York, there are two locations there, and they had a whole wall or a whole end cap of stickers. Book-related stickers.
Yeah. Indigo is the brand. I've never seen this one. This is so cute. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Are any of you suffering from your overwhelming, scary, about to fall over TBR piles?
Right.
We are.
But it's a good,
yes.
As far as death goes, it's a good death.
It's a good way to go. How did she go? Well, they had to unbury her from a pile of books.
Yes. So it's Friday,
Woohoo!
May 26th, which means Sue's Big Book Summer Reading Challenge has kicked off. She started it on yesterday, the 25th. Right. And we have a little video with her that we'll include later in this video.
So we thought we would share our big book summer reads. A big book in Sue's definition is a book that's 400 plus pages. Mm-hmm. So this is mine. I'm going nonfiction this year. It's called Devil in the Grove by Gilbert King. This came out in 2013 and won the Pulitzer. And I have wanted to read it forever. It's about Thurgood Marshall, who was a Supreme Court justice here in the United States. But this book in particular is before he was a Supreme Court justice, and there was a case in Florida, in the Florida Orange Groves, which is where the name comes from, where a 17-year-old white teenager accused 4 black men of raping her. And this is about the story about how Thurgood Marshall got involved in the court case. So, and there's also an audiobook, which I'm planning to listen to. I think it's around 17 hours or something like that. So, cool. Yeah. What about you? What's your big book?
My big book is a classic, a fiction, Ulysses by James Joyce. It's a chunkster. This edition is 700-ish pages, 760 something. And it's one of those books I never thought I'd read, but as I've been learning more about bookstores around the 19-teens and 1920s, it was hard to escape this one, especially reading about Sylvia Beach. So it's been kind of creeping up on me over the years, and I'm happy to be finally reading it. We have Goodreads discussion threads for both of these books on our Goodreads page. So if you want to read along with either of us or both of us, please do. And I've made a reading schedule for this just to kind of make myself kind of keep pace because I want to read it quickly. So I'm reading anywhere from, I think, 30 to 80 pages a day-ish. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. My philosophy is to not think too hard about anything and just read the words and not worry about things I don't understand in this first reading. I'll just be reading the book. And there are things already in the first 50 or so pages that I totally didn't get everything, but I got some things, and I'm happy.
Good. I have to just say, it's such a beautiful color. So, so we'll put the links to our Goodreads buddy threads down in the notes below.
Yeah. And we have a little show and tell. I wanted to show you all my Dracula puzzle, because today is World Dracula Day. This was the day, May 26th, that Dracula was first published. And a couple months ago, I did a Jane Austen puzzle by the same people. It was called World of Jane Austen. And so they're all 1,000-piece puzzles. But what's kind of cool is they also include this neat little poster of the puzzle. So you can, have it to frame or consult as you're working on the puzzle. And then on the back, it has a little, go closer. It has a little, you see the little numbers there? It tells you what scene it's from in the book. So just a lot of fun. And I've read Dracula a bunch of times, and I wasn't really feeling a reread at this point. But I thought when I saw the World of Dracula puzzle in the bookstore, I would do the puzzle and listen to Dracula at the same time. So this is kind of my weekend plans.
Right on.
Yeah.
We got some fun book mail today. We haven't even unwrapped it from the plastic. We unearthed it from its cardboard container, but it's a book, and it's called 150 Bookstores You Need to Visit Before You Die. And it's by Elizabeth Stamp. And you can just tell from the very back, which is kind of hard to see because of the plastic, but look at that. That's a bookstore, apparently.
Wow, that's amazing.
I think the photography is going to be really beautiful. We'll talk about this more on a future episode, and perhaps we'll devote an upcoming video to show you more of the inside pages once we open it up.
Ooh, I can't wait to dig into that one.
Yeah, yes. And I don't think it's out yet. I think it is coming out in July, but we'll put a link to it down below.
Yeah. Now, I have something to show you that's a surprise.
Ooh.
A book I'd never heard of. Now, it was a print-on-demand kind of self-published book, but it is Travels Without Charlie.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, Travels Without Charlie. We recently read Travels with Charlie by Steinbeck. This is by Bill Gorliski. And he's a Connecticut writer. I believe he's passed away. But there's his rig that he drove around with. I'll just read the first couple sentences about it. He said, "One summer during school vacation, I decided to read every book by John Steinbeck in our local library, beginning with some of his early works written in California describing the Monterey Peninsula, blah, 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 blah. He enjoyed that. But the book I loved the most that summer was Travels with Charlie." So it's 1967 that he's planning his road trip, and Steinbeck did his in 1959, 1960, right?
Yeah, I think the book came out in 62.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
so that makes sense. Yeah.
So, and this gentleman, he had written several books and, self-published them, memoir type things, I believe. So I couldn't not buy it when I was at the used bookstore yesterday, Yeah. So more to come on that.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, come on. $4. And, that would be a fun thing to collect, is books inspired by other books, right?
And a play on the name.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, he said he had no dog to take with him. And I think he borrows his sister's car. I just kind of flicked through it a little bit, so more to come on that.
So coming up after us is our conversation with Sue, who is the person who started the Big Book Summer Reading Challenge. I have a hard time. I'm challenged by saying that. This is the 11th year she's been doing it.
Yeah.
And we'll have links down below to actually her blog post about all the details.
Yep. So, happy reading.
Well, hi, everybody. We're here today with Sue Jackson, who is the creator and host of Big Book Summer, the reading challenge that so many people have been enjoying now for 11 years, I think.
Yeah, this is the 11th year.
Yes. So Sue's also an author. Her book is Finding a New Normal. It's all about living your best life when you have a chronic illness. And I haven't read it myself, but I've seen some fantastic reviews of it, that it's very helpful, actionable advice for folks. So check that out. But Sue, welcome to the Book Cougars YouTube channel.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you guys.
We are so excited to be coming up on the Big Book Summer reading time again. I know I kind of queue things up all year long, waiting.
So do I.
Yes. Yeah, I know. You think, oh, that's over 400. Okay. All right. Well, have that one mentally there.
So you want to tell us about the idea behind this? Maybe I would actually love to hear how you decided to start doing this, and then we can tell everyone the details.
Sure. Well, it started just as something I did for myself. Trying to remember the name of the book now. The Ken Follett book.
Pillars of the Earth.
Yes. Okay. Pillars of the Earth. I really wanted to read it. Everyone kept saying it was so great, but it is huge. And so 12 years ago, I thought to myself, summertime, my kids were younger then, they're adults now, but I was thinking summertime, we've got less going on. We're not running around as much. That's when I'm going to tackle this big book. And that was really the start of it. And I actually read a couple of big books that summer. And then the next year I thought that worked out so well. I want to invite other people to join me. So the public challenge has been going on. This will be the 11th year. And the idea is very simple and low key because it's summer. We don't want to stress anyone out. Any book of 400 or more pages counts as a big book. And some people choose just one big book to tackle during the summer. Some choose 3 or 4. Some, like me, have a whole stack that, like Chris said, I've been setting aside all year. I can read that one for Big Book Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's very much, you do it the way that works for you. And people who have blogs or YouTube channels link up on the challenge page so that you can go see what everybody else is planning to read. But you don't need to blog or do videos to join the fun. We've also got a Goodreads group, and lots of people, especially in the last few years, have joined that way. And we've got some great conversations going on in the Goodreads group all summer long.
It's funny because for me, part of it is, and I think we've talked about this before, the idea of tackling a big book is not just the tackling of the big book, but it's the other books you're not going to get to because you've got this big book you're working on. And I think that's part of the pleasure of like putting them on a stack throughout the year, like looking forward to getting to them as you continue on with your other reading.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, I do a whole stack. Nobody else has to do that. You can just do one. Depending on what books you choose, there's very often someone else reading the same big book that you are. And, it's fun to chat about it while you're reading.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to talk about any of your big books, or are you waiting to make decisions and announcements?
No, I pulled some off my shelf today. So Big Book Summer for me is also a chance to read the books that have been languishing on my shelves. So I went through my shelves this morning. Let me see if I can show you.
Oh, wow. She's got a stack.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Right on.
And some of these are really long, so I don't know if I'll get to all of them. I know that the Lincoln Highway, I've already teamed up with a friend on BookTube. She and I are going to do this as a buddy read this summer for Big Book Summer. And I just got Scythe for Mother's Day. I love Neil Shusterman. I've loved all of his books. And I've been listening to people rave about this trilogy for years. So I'm finally going to get to it.
I don't think I've read anything by him.
No, me either.
Oh, the Unwind series, mind-blowing.
Wow.
Really, really good. It's YA, but my whole family read it.
Wow.
And I do have a Diana Gabaldon on the stack.
Voyager.
Oh,
yeah.
Voyager.
Which was on my stack last summer, and I didn't get to it. So.
That's the third one, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I'm currently reading.
And I've been listening to your progress. It's a hefty one, so we will see how that goes.
Yeah.
And I would like to read. I like to throw a classic in there every summer, and I haven't chosen one yet, so I'm still looking for that.
So the kickoff date is.
So we'll start on May 25th, and it runs all the way until Labor Day here in the U.S., which is September 4th this year. So you've got the whole summer, to just relax and tackle whatever big book or 2 or 3 or a stack that you want.
It's so exciting that you do this, and I like it because it does give me a little bit of a focus for my summer reading, which is fun. But also, like I've already said, it's nice to be looking at some of those big books that are languishing on the shelf and knowing that you'll have an excuse to spend time with them.
Big Book Summer always helps me, get through some of the books that I've been wanting to read that are on my shelves.
Nice. Well, Sue, thanks so much for coming on again and sharing Big Book Summer with us and our listeners. We appreciate it.
I'm happy to. Thanks for inviting me. And I did want to mention there's all kinds of Big Book Summer swag available.
Nice.
Nice. And is
Mugs.
that best found at your website?
I've got a Zazzle account for it, so you can find everything. I'll include the link on the Big Book Summer Challenge page.
Great.
Cool.
And we'll put that in the links down below.
Great.
Thanks, Sue.
Thanks, Sue.
Yeah. Nice to see you guys.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.